Charles writes, I'm just as much excited as everyone else about the upcoming Deadpool movie, especially after watching, oops, the leaked San Diego Comic-Con teaser. But it got me thinking, even though I really enjoyed Ryan Reynolds' version of Green Lantern by the power of Greyskull, his quirky quips and overall demeanor doesn't seem like quite the right fit for the more grounded DC cinematic universe. So I guess my question is, would you rather have had a great Green Lantern movie, thus securing Ryan Reynolds in the future DCCU, or are you glad it failed so we can get a potentially awesome redemption of the merc with a mouth?
Look, I've said this before too. Green Lantern was a disappointment. I didn't hate it as much as a lot of people did. I thought there were some redeeming qualities about it, and one of the redeeming qualities I thought was Ryan Reynolds as Hal Jordan. I thought he was a great Hal Jordan. And one of the things that I think people fail to recognize in the film is that there is an evolution in the character throughout that movie, where he is very loose and, you know, cracking a lot of jokes from the beginning. As he starts to embrace the levity of and the weight of, you know, his new responsibility and power and what's really coming and that the world is a threat, you see him change to the end of it, that he's kind of a different guy than he was at the beginning. And I thought that was a great starting point for Hal Jordan. Also, I think there's a misconception that just because it hasn't happened yet means it can't ever happen. Who's to say he couldn't have played both? Who's to say he couldn't have been, because he was Green Lantern and he was already Deadpool in the X-Men universe at the same time. So there's nothing saying that it couldn't have gone on. It would have been difficult. I'm sure there would have been contractual issues, but it was happening already. So it wasn't a one or the other. But if I had to choose, would I rather see Ryan Reynolds playing a successful Green Lantern or a successful Deadpool? This dude was born to play Deadpool. I mean, he was born to play Deadpool, so I would vote for Deadpool. Schnepp, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. He's born to play Deadpool. Ever since he was in Blade Trinity, I mean, playing
Two
Hannibal.
guys in a pizza shack with a girl or something.
Yeah.
There's got to be one of those episodes where he's got a sword.
What's the one where he's like playing a waiter? It's called Waiting, I think.
Waiting.
Yeah. He's really funny. He's quick-witted. He's Deadpool. He's not Green Lantern. And he did a good job in Green Lantern, but then he had to fight a poo cloud at the end of the movie. before that, he was fighting a guy with a giant head screaming like I was watching a David Lynch film. I didn't know what that film was. It's like one of those, like, the tone of that movie is crazy. You know, if you haven't seen Green Lantern, don't. Is what I can say. Save yourself some time. Maybe watch a clip on YouTube and watch the poo cloud scene. But no, Ryan Reynolds was great in it. But that doesn't, you know, there's actors who are great in horrible films. Yeah. So that doesn't make it worth seeing. So I'm glad that they're going to replace him with Chris Pine, and I'm sure he's glad because they don't want to keep that weird, like, striated energy suit muscle thing that he was wearing. Super weird. He's always commenting about in Deadpool. At least I get to wear a costume. I don't have to be replaced by some strange half naked CG muscle, like, flippy armature suit, or I don't even know what you call that thing.
I don't think Chris Pine is actually no, I don't think I think there are rumors going around that he might be, but just for the record, I don't think he's actually on yet. What do you think?
I mean, the one devil's advocate that I can say is that the DC universe, yes, it's very dark and it feels more realistic and gritty. You are going to need some sort of levity in there eventually. You can't just have 9 superheroes hang out at the Justice League all being really solemn and grim, and Batman and Superman like, hey, sorry, we got in a fight that one time. Like, you're going to need somebody to put some sort of light source in there. Ryan Reynolds would have been a great candidate for that.
Yep.
Having said that, when I saw him as Deadpool at Comic-Con in Hall H, I was like, this is the guy to play this role. There's 1,000 dudes that could be, or women, Sinead, that could be the Green Lantern, that could carry on that mantle. There's not that many that could be Deadpool. And the fact that he gets to redeem what they did to Deadpool in Wolverine Origins, this feels right. You know, I kind of wish that Taylor Kitsch got the same shot and he could come back as Gambit, but hey, we're not so lucky. Ryan Reynolds should be playing Deadpool. He was fine as Green Lantern, in my opinion. He's Deadpool.
By the way, if you have not 3 Ryan Reynolds films you should see, and you probably haven't seen, if you've not. One, Definitely Maybe. I thought that's actually one of his best performances ever done. Buried, which is a whole movie that is just him in a box buried 6 feet underground. That's the whole movie, start to finish. And if you want to know how good of an actor Ryan Reynolds is, watch that movie. But my favorite comedy Ryan Reynolds has ever done is still probably to this day Just Friends with Amy Smart.
Yeah.
It's such a like a surfacey, hollow movie, but so funny and so engaged. I just love that film. So check those ones out.